Is multi-million-dollar technology completely worthless against a boneless monster possessing exactly 9 brains? This 50,000 USD shapeshifter effortlessly outsmarts veteran fishermen inside the freezing cold water sanctuary. Forget your ordinary marine life. The North Pacific Abyss is actively nourishing an invisible ghost. Beneath freezing waters from 32 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit, copper-laced blue blood refuses to freeze. A creature carrying an illogical structure, 3 hearts, and 9 independent brains. A boneless entity possessing a lethal clamp force of 1,200 psi, snapping a solid baseball bat into sawdust in a single fraction of a second. The dissection of this absurd predatory weapon begins. Sonar grids lock coordinates. Digital graphics strip bare the sand-scouring gills. A zombie mechanism manipulating hormones spiking straight into the nervous system. Hidden venom glands release highly toxic neurotoxins. A violent strike in a fraction of a second. It terminates all resistance under deep water pressure. The flesh is completely odorless, hiding a resilient protein matrix packed with 4 times the collagen of standard beef. The perfect biological weapon to brainwash the elite palate, manipulating the entire global multi-million-dollar food supply chain. Dare you swallow this deceptive protein at a Manhattan banquet? A ruthless gamble fueling a multi-million-dollar underworld. Human limits officially close beneath the surface. Sunlight is completely annihilated. Welcome to the pitch-black zone of the wild Alaskan Sea. A solo hunter diving to a depth of 600 feet. Water pressure crushes the body at 260 psi. Can you maintain your sanity when your chest is suffocated beneath an invisible steel block? The ocean reveals its nature as a heartless, dark void. Thick darkness swallows perception. A pinhole tear in the dive suit turns pressure into a mechanical, crushing force, erasing all biological structures in a fraction of a second. Freezing space. Absolute isolation. A black mud hell waiting to swallow the greedy who cling to the sea. The survival clock activates. The time window slams shut. Divers have exactly 20 minutes of oxygen left. Bone-piercing cold drags the heart rate to critical levels. They must manually grope through a freezing mud hell to drag a 110-pound monster from its lair. Surrounded by darkness, do you grasp the extreme fragility of your protective rubber? A A single split second of distraction. The undercurrent will violently twist and tear everything apart. This is the ruthless economic calculation of the abyss. Humans wagering their lives in exchange for wild biomass. Surrounding pressure, ready to permanently swallow the reckless. Nature leaves absolutely zero margin for error. No sound. Only a solitary breath facing the deep abyss. The net unleashes a torrential pour. The monster is violently dragged from its invisible kingdom. The suffocation shatters on the cold iron deck. The creature frantically mutates, flashing from dead white to furious red in a fraction of a second. 30-foot tentacles violently twist and thrash, a liquid muscle mass struggling in absolute despair. The gaze of a nine-brain intellect meets a sun-baked grimace. Alien intelligence now permanently imprisoned inside steel mesh. Helpless and struggling. Exactly like an IndyCar trapped deep inside a Florida mud swamp. Life evaporates. Roaring celebrations drown out the fading beats of 3 dying hearts. Humanity wins, a ruthless and absolute victory. Zero mercy exists on this blood-soaked deck. Drained sweat and pure recklessness are actively strip mining the very life of nature. The clock aggressively counts down, 60 miles per hour. Hurricane gusts ruthlessly freeze everything. The ocean screams to reclaim the life of the abyss. A roaring fury, exactly like a nor'easter swallowing the American East Coast. Look into that desperate, closing, rectangular eye. Do you see a luxury appetizer or the absolute ruins of a dying marvel? Mechanical surgery begins. Zero hesitation. The scalpel slashes the head, the central nervous system eradicated. The ink sac permanently purged. A lethal race. One delayed microsecond. Necrotic enzymes annihilate a $150 per plate fortune. Biology must be permanently deadlocked. Step outside the ordinary seafood mindset. This soft-bodied monster refuses to be merely a luxury meal. Inside sterile laboratories, it is classified as a biological goldmine. Ruthless Western pharmaceutical cartels are weaving a matrix to acquire this blue serum essence. Extracted from this molecular camouflage skin. They eagerly sign checks for tens of thousands of USD per single gallon of raw material. Do you comprehend the monetary network operating beneath the ocean floor? This is the supreme biological arms race. Blue serum refined into specialty drugs, destroying malignant cells, regenerating necrotic joints. Colossal profit margins are established, pushing fishermen into a macro-scale life-or-death struggle. Amidst sterile white spaces, the brutal wildness of the freezing Alaskan sea is capitalized into ruthless financial numbers. The capitalist mask drops at the barren dock. Cartel brokers crush the buying price to a rock-bottom $15.40 USD per pound. But after being packaged and stamped with a sterile QR code, a dark magic of greed begins to operate. The abyss creature suddenly transforms into a trendy power symbol on a Manhattan menu, carrying a ruthless price tag of $113.40 USD per pound. Profit margins exceeding 700%. Defying geopolitical sanctions, the cash flow remains violent. Forged labels brainwash consumers, mutating the blood and sweat of fishermen into the ultimate luxury of the elite. The money printing machine operates without a single sound, leaving behind empty-handed laborers standing beside torn, shattered traps. Heavy steel container doors slam shut. The raw material is officially anesthetized in a vacuum. Reefer trucks roar at 70 miles per hour, tearing through the night. Strictly maintained below 39 degrees Fahrenheit, blasting straight toward the international airport. Heavy metal rollers crush and compress, forcing the resilient biomass into standard frozen blocks weighing exactly 16.5 pounds. Vacuum plastic film mutates the ocean monster into a lifeless barcode, serving the massive fast food empires of Tokyo or Paris. Behind the luxury plate lies a ruthless ecological death sentence. Heavy trap cages become a noose strangling the ocean floor. Natural apex predators are completely eradicated. Crustacean swarms violently explode. The continental shelf severely fractures as ocean waters heat up by exactly 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Tasting extreme luxury. Do you truly realize you are swallowing the absolute final wild remnants? Abalone territory. Divers wager their lives beneath the jaws of great whites, prying loose a priceless pearl of flesh. Stand with DDB Green before it is entirely too late.